This program and its contents are designed for information and educational purposes only. This program does not render medical advice or professional services and is not intended to be a substitute for professional care. The information provided here should not be used for the purposes of diagnosing or treating a medical or psychiatric condition. If you have or suspect you may have a health problem, consult your healthcare provider.
Hello and welcome to Positive Momentum. I'm Diane Silva, and today our guest is, or my guest is Ilona Holland with Ilona Holland Life Dimensions. Welcome, Ilona.
Hi, Diane. Nice to be here. How are you?
I'm doing great, and how are you?
I am good. Great to be here for the second time that
Yes.
I was on the way. Last time I was heading here, but went into labor instead. So today I was safe. Yeah, baby's home with dad. So
wonderful. So tell us a little bit about your wonderful bundle of joy.
oh, we had a baby boy on the 2nd August. His name is Sven Marius, and he's just precious. I don't know whether he's reading into my energy or what, but he's such a mellow fellow. So we're blessed.
I do believe there's that combination with nature and nurture, and from what I know of you, you are very calm and mellow and just a peaceful being. And I know throughout your pregnancy you practiced meditations and yogas and stuff. So how could he not be a mellow fellow, as you put it?
That's true. Yes. No, I mean you're truly right. Our blend was massage, and which is my job really, a massage therapist, yoga teacher. So he just listened to all the relaxing music, and my temperament is pretty good. So and all the pictures I've seen, just such a happy family, so how can you not be a mellow and wonderful he was just embraced. He was, and we encountered a lot of people like yourself and Heather, and a lot of people that just gave good energy, blessed us, and we felt that all along, and we still do now. So and that proves how connected we all are, how everyone is connected to each other, because otherwise how could we send good energy, and so I think that's great. And energy is moving, even if you're not in connection with the person, as you and I are right now, next to each other. It moves, travels along the waves and overseas. And I would love to learn more about that. I really would. I feel very like I'm in nursery school learning all of this, because doing the meditations and doing the yogas and just learning. I feel like I'm just absorbing, but I'm at a phase of my life where I don't remember everything. Okay. But a friend of mine said, you don't have to remember it all, it'll come when you need it. Exactly, and that's also kind of going down the path of what you need versus what you want, and we're just chatting about that about a week ago with a colleague of mine. When you get frustrated, things aren't going your way, but you realize it's actually not what you need. It's what do they used to say that are we driving or being driven? And by that I mean, am I directing the show, or is my energy and higher power or my divine purpose the one that's leading where I'm going? And I'm one. Just get me there. And we were talking about journeys and how we're so destination oriented. Would you mind kind of revisiting that with me? I think, I mean, it's great to have a goal, to have a destination. It's nice to envision where you're heading, some picture or some form of something, but you are the captain of your ship, as they say, or you're saying I'm driving, but the higher power is showing you signs, and we kind of, like we said, you key in an address and you hit, your navigation system, and Google gives you 4 options. Right. And we always go for in my case, we go for the fastest route to get there. And along the way, that's where I have to go, and 1 or 2 stops, grab a drink, but you don't see the signs along the way, and you miss out. The higher, let's say God or whatever higher being you are connected to, gives you signs along the way. So we should maybe key in the 8-hour versus the 4-hour journey, and see what off the beaten path, as you said, comes our way. Yeah, my husband and I used to, my whole life I've always
get to point B as soon as we can. And now we take that 8-hour trip. It's like, okay, well, you know, we don't have any place we have to be. Let's just kind of enjoy the journey. And we find some of the most amazing things when either we get lost or we go off the beaten path. You know, even if it's, a friend of mine and I went from Omaha to Connecticut last year. We took a Penske truck and went back, but we took a detour and decided to go to Niagara Falls. We stopped at Cleveland, went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Stuff I would have never done before.
Indeed.
And it was wonderful, such a great learning experience.
You made a conscious choice, and in you know, tying in with, so we won't make it all about the baby, but tying in with this new arrival, this gift. A lot of people, again, conditioned to think, you know, your life changes, and oh, you wait, you know, you get your rest, you sleep, because once the baby's here, and don't get me wrong, I mean, it's a change, of course, but I think for me, I embrace the fact that it's really allowing me to stop and pause and just notice this precious being and to go with the flow.
Yes.
You know, and our life moves on, yes, and it moves on with this new addition versus evolving our life around it. And we now meld together, the three of us, all our needs versus just the baby, because I'm still married and my husband needs the attention he was getting in a slightly smaller dose, but you know, but to keep that there. And you know, as I lay, you know, breastfeeding or nurturing my little one, I just watch and observe the movements or the cries, you know, I need a diaper change, or just learning that language. It's just one cry, but there's different words, in you know, and the various cries mean various things. So, or rather, one cry means various things. And for me, that pause is just so important, because I have my list to get through the day, and I need to get to my destination, and I have work, but I'm now more aware that this needs my attention. And as you know, before he arrived, things needed my attention, but you just keep going, because there's nothing to stop you and say, whoa, just stop for a moment, you know.
Or slow down.
Or slow down, yes.
You know, and to that point, you know, I love the fact that you're paying it, you know, you brought up the fact that you're paying attention to your husband still, you know, and the three of you are integrating. A lot of us, you know, oh my gosh, this baby needs us, this baby needs us, you know, so everything is revolving around this child, which to some degree it needs to, because that child can't take care of herself, him or herself. But we tend to forget and push away in most relationships, even when we have a new relationship with somebody new. We push away the old relationships or whatever. We're going to focus in on just this one, and they get 100% of our time. And we forget or lose sight of what's really important, because eventually the newness, the infatuation, and we'll hit that saturation point of, okay, the newness is off. Now oh, wait a minute, what happened to, or I now have a lot of work to do to rekindle this relationship versus, as you're doing, keeping that relationship on the front burner, paying attention to that relationship, paying attention to the baby, and integrating everything into your life.
Precisely. And I must say, I did learn the hard way, because there were times in my life when I, you know, focused on, let's say, my well-being in terms of diet and nutrition. And I was so focused on that, having had, you know, a health an eating problem, and I was overweight and so on. So that was my focus. And then once I was, you know, putting too much energy in that fell through, or rather other things fell through, and that, you know, climbed high. And then I realized, okay, so well, now I've neglected all the 7 things or more that keep the wheel spinning. So now I'm focusing on this, and so my nutrition went. And then, you know, realizing that actually I need to create a little wheel, and I'm a visual person, so the wheel from our life coaching sessions that we use and list all the things, you know, the home, your nutrition, your social life, your work, and all the things that are important to you, that are balancing your life, and then coloring
you know, what you give attention to. And the minute you see there's lack of color somewhere, you realize, whoa, I'm, you know, giving, you know, less attention here, and I need to check that out.
So, and I apologize, one of the things, and I'm not trying to redirect, but you just brought something to present. One of the things we're doing on this show is we're doing health challenges.
Okay.
And for me, I want to reduce me by a quarter. I would like to, you know, kind of have a quarter me. And as you're talking,
I like you don't put a weight on it.
No, it's just I want to get comfortable. I want to be healthy. I'm not real happy with where I am right now. But many of us struggle with trying to be healthier. Let's just call it that. And you're talking about balancing everything, where, you know, you go to this diet program and, you know, you're so focused on, oh my God, I can't have, or, you know, we're talking about reducing this or doing that, and we're so focused. But as you're talking, I'm thinking, we would have such an easier time if we did speak with life coaches, or at least figure out how to balance everything in our lives. And that is, can you visit a little bit more on the balance?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a different journey for all of us, based on our bringing, you know, our culture. I mean, I'm Maltese myself. I come from the island of Malta, and my husband, who's American, we see the difference in how we've been raised and so on, and what our priorities are and our focus is, you know, given to us by our parents. Yeah. And so our journey unfolded. I started growing up, meeting friends, traveling, and realizing, okay, it's not all about that, where there's other things to look at. But, you know, you're learning along the way. For me, I came to life coaching because of my journey, and I promote what I do because of my own experience, you know, as I said, with struggling with weight, struggling with depression, struggling with anxiety, and all of these beautiful things. So came to life coaching miraculously in the early 2002 or so in the UK, when I was living in England. And I decided to embark on this journey and just see what it brought my way. And the minute I discovered this wheel of balance, this technique, like, okay, this makes sense now, because I'm struggling to, how am I going to bring it all together? We must remind people to let go of expectations. And that's another key in life coaching. Mm-hmm. You know, you paint your picture. It's very important to put that canvas out there and to visualize. Now, I'm more a visual person, as I said a moment ago. Some people are more audio. So whatever works for you. So paint a canvas, or, you know, play a song, and just dance to your tune. You know, look at your painting, but rip it up. Destroy it before you get there. You know, because once you get there and it's not looking like your exact picture, okay, then we're set up, you know, setting ourselves up for failure. But you know that there's your journey is onward, upward, forward.
Wow. So two things. One is, first of all, I felt like I finally was able to give myself, or, you know, somebody had given me permission to dance to my own beat. You know, be okay with not fitting in this little box society or our parents, or we even set up for ourselves.
Oh yes, oh
you
yes.
Know, okay, and the other one is, you know, okay, yeah, we have a vision of what we want our lives to look like. You know, the old theory, white picket fence. You know, little house, 2.5 children. You know, we don't, and not everybody wants that. And even if you do want it, it doesn't always look like what you would want it to look like, or it's going to look like what I wanted it to look like.
No, because, you know, higher being, you know, whatever you connect with, everyone, you know, universal energy, God, whatever works for you, and where you're rooted down, has a plan. You know, you and I, we all have a purpose. And some of us don't know it. Some of us know kind of what it is, or, we know. But everything else, you know, that color and the extras are all, you know, a higher being. So again, we said, are you driving? Yes, your destination is there, but stop and, you know, take a lane, walk down an alley, take a detour. Notice these things that are coming your way, or perhaps it is to get there for right now. You know?
That basically, to me, sounds like another way of saying stop and smell the roses. We've been hearing, you know, what do you mean, stop and smell the roses? You gave us a great picture of what that looks like.
Yeah,
Because
smell the roses and feel the thorns,
Ow.
because we want, as you say, we want the smell of these beautiful roses. Some roses don't have a smell. Some roses
Right.
don't smell very pleasant, but the thorns are necessary as well. And I had situations in my life where they weren't pleasant, and it was bitter, and I just wanted out. But I realized that that's where the transformation happened.
Yes, it does.
And it's nice to smell the roses, but I encourage, I mean, I have a lot of, I like to say guests, but for better understanding, clients that see me in Council Bluffs. I teach yoga there, and they come to me, and again, I say I'm not being cruel, or I say, but I'm going to push you,
Okay.
and I'm going to push you, not in a kind of bad way, but I know your potential. I know
Right.
where you can go, and I'm going to keep wind in your wings, but a little bit of a
Yes.
holding you accountable perhaps, or and I do that because it was done to me, and I found it beneficial for someone to see that light in me. And
Yeah, otherwise, we enable if we don't. If we tell people what we think they want to hear, or the fact that, oh, it's okay, the kinder, gentler, oh, we'll worry about it next time. Yeah, there's that, but there's also that, oh, you better do it.
Yeah.
Finding that nice, gentle, constant pressure on yourself to perform and
Yes.
to make yourself be a little better than you were. It's not that, okay, I have to become and transition
Yes.
by, but like you said, being accountable. Okay, I'm saying I want to reduce myself by a quarter. Okay, how am I going to do that? Well, by not eating that cookie.
yes.
So if I eat it, okay, I'm accountable. I'm not going to reduce or get to the goal I set for myself for that week, but I'm the one that did it to myself.
Precisely. And also, I mean, knowing that you're just such a pure soul and a shining light always, regardless of what your behaviors or your actions are. And honoring that, by feeding your body the good things so that you can really live and shine that light and really live your purpose and you need that health. You need to take care of yourself to do that, to be able to do that. So.
Well, and this has become such a transformation. Everybody talks about the shift that we're going through.
Yes,
and I think in the U.S. is one of the big places it is, because we have gone from, whatever work, and that was our goal, to, okay, let's take care of ourselves at the same time. Let's go ahead and work. So it's finding that it's about balance. It's about self-care. It's about paying attention to other people as energy and as souls and as equals, and it's just.
And if it begins at home, and that's one thing that my husband and I strive for, to have this balance at home, and it doesn't happen from one day to the next, because it's ongoing.
Right.
But the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, like a balance in all in all dimensions, and that's where Ilona Holland Life Dimensions came from, because I just felt that I was not balanced in my life, and I needed to pause. Take a moment, and thanks to yoga and the practice of yoga daily as much as possible, it brought it to me, and I was able to get out and focus.
Wow. Now, just to sidetrack just a minute, a little bit ago we were talking, and you had said something about you're working to write about the challenges or your journey in our area, in the Omaha area. Would you mind touching a little bit more on that? I found that very interesting and enlightening.
Yes, we've been here a year, believe it or not. It's really not flown by, but it's hard to say. Like, wow, it's been a year. We left from Washington D.C. and we ventured here, knowing that we would intend starting a family. We wanted to be close to family, and so my expectations were built. Of course, my painting, and I kind of forgot to rip it up. So, came here, and you have that. You're going to meet family. You're going to have a business. It's going to pick up in a couple of months. You have your forecast and so on. Mm-hmm. But again, the big guy had other plans, and so. it took me, again, a moment to pick myself up and practice what I preach. And you know, that happens, and I'm glad it does, because then I can come back again and be like, okay, now I know what others are feeling, and empathize, and be able to come from a place of knowing, remembering again, because if you don't, but yes, you know, the fact that you have family doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be with them all the time. Your business isn't exactly going to thrive right away. You want this job, it doesn't come, you've lost 3 others, so, you know, things happen, your health, and things do, you know, crash, and then you have to start rebuilding again.
But isn't that where you find you learn the most?
And that's again, those are the thorns on my roses. I cannot say that I would have said this 10 years ago or 7, but I'm blessed, and I'm thankful for this. It helps in my transformation, it helps in my growth. Helps me to work with my clients and to be able to really understand and push them lovingly versus impatiently, like, oh, you again, you know, you're here again, like, or yeah, you again, cool, I'll take your money.
Yes.
And no, just giving them what they need, but not coming from my experience, and that's something that I'm learning as a parent. I want my son to feel the pain, I want my son to feel the joy, feel all that, so that those are the lessons, the guests that are going to visit his life and the guests that visit my clients' lives, that they absolutely need. It's what they need. They don't want it, but they need it, and that's going to help them.
That is so different, such a wonderful way of looking at things versus, oh my God, I got to go through this. Yes, but it's, you know, if we learn from it, and we can transition and become the person we want to be, we need to be, you know, we're compelled to be.
And I do encourage, I mean, for me, one thing, like you said, you know, oh my gosh, this again, or it's fine to say that, but to catch yourself, you know, is this your tape, is this the CD we're playing over and over, the first thing we step out of bed. I do encourage, if people are listening, to, you know, tap into America Meditating. They have a Pause for Peace app, Pause for Peace, and there's so many tools on there, and this is free, you know, nothing to be purchased. They can go there and you know, start the day with elevated thoughts. There's an out challenge going on, so Diane, I'll actually nominate you after we're done here.
Okay.
But it is really important how to start your day. Breakfast for the physical body, that's important, but feeding your mind, you know, spiritually, emotionally, with positive thoughts, and it's okay if those negative ones creep in. That's also important, but it's not you, and not to define yourself with those.
Well, somebody had taught me finally how to actually be able to let those thoughts go, and you know, everybody has different ways of doing it. But I'm gonna share one of the ones that they taught me is visualize yourself as a pebble in the bottom of a stream, and just all your thoughts are just floating over. So, you know,
okay, I had never heard that.
But to me, it worked, because otherwise, you know, how do I watch these thoughts go? You know, I'm watching them go, and you know, this I was able to actually just let them flow past me without having to grab onto them. Yeah. And so, you know, the negative thoughts, our brain works all the time. It does.
Well, that's what it's supposed to do. It's you know, the intellect versus the monkey mind, and there's different parts that you know, people just see it as one, but there are different parts. And again, using this Pause for Peace app and getting onto America Meditating, there's different techniques, like you mentioned the pebble. There's guided meditations that you can use. You know, in my case, the house works well. Your thoughts as a guest, and then walking it out the door or interacting with it, whether it's in the form of a cloud or a person, whatever works, you know, for the individual. And you have to just embark, take the journey, get up and do and go, and it will all come to you.
And I think that's great. My concern has always been that, you know, and I've heard other people say too, but these thoughts keep coming in and out, and that's where, like you said, use the house, or I have a friend who puts their thoughts on a train and lets the train go by, or whatever. This way you're not, you know, okay, let it go and just come back to focus on your breathing, or whatever it is that, you know, your instructor or meditative guide is saying.
Ultimately, I mean, the one thing that I want to, you know, say ultimately is you're a pure soul. Remember that light, even if, you know, your parents didn't say that to you, or you had nobody in your life believing that about you, that resides inside of you. And just, you know, be with it, and shine on. Never give up.
And
Never give up.
that goes for everybody, anybody who's out there. And pass this on to other people, because, you know, we are divine beings ourselves, you know, at least part of the divine. You know,
Exactly.
and I know that goes against some of the teachings I learned, but
That's another show altogether.
yes,
Diana.
I think we need to come back and talk about
yeah,
that.
Definitely.
So what I'm going to go ahead and do is wrap up right now, and you know we'll go back as soon as I give them the information they need. We'll go back to continuing talking, and we'll
Certainly, yes.
So thank you for watching Positive Momentum, and if you have any questions or concerns, or if you have any ideas for the show, or even interested in being on the show, contact us at inquiry@positivemomentum.net. And we're going to go ahead and also have a couple challenges out here. As I mentioned earlier in the show, we're doing a health challenge where we would like to invite you to send in a video or something electronically where what you want to do for your health, to change your health or better your health. Also, we're doing a fear challenge, or basically it's what's keeping you stuck. That's, you know, what is it? How would you like information to help change it? Or you were stuck, and how would you advise us to get unstuck? And the last but not least is I need some information. As you see, when I have guests, I'm learning, you're learning. I want to learn how to be a better friend, have better relationships. So you've heard, you know, what's that saying? If you want to have a friend, you have to be a friend.
Be a friend.
So tell me what that means. Get a video, you and a friend talking. What do you expect from a friendship? You know, yes, we paint the picture, but we'll tear it up. But you know, and would you do the same thing? So basically, give us information on how to be in relationships better. So that's what I'm looking for. If you'd be kind enough to send it in, that'd be great. And watch us on 7:30 Wednesday nights, and channel 22 on Cox and channel 89 on CenturyLink, and we'll be going to YouTube. And thank you very much for watching.
Thank you
Have
so
a great
much.
day.